Now, team, we head down the shame well.
What was I thinking? Why did I say he had nice ankles? She was stood behind me the whole time. I didn't know he's only got one hand. I was signed in on her Gmail.
John's Shame Well.
Yes, folks, I'm down here at the base of the well in order to try and rid the UK of shame, because there's no need to feel shame unless you have done something really, really bad. So don't send those in. Just send in the sort of funny ones. This week's entry. Back in the late 2000s, I was a younger man starting a new professional life in the US. I had recently moved across the pond from my small village in the north of England, seeking new opportunities on the other side of the Atlantic. I joined a large accountancy firm and, despite having no experience, was keen to win my colleagues over with my exuberance for learning and hard work, and of course, my charming British wit. When I arrived in the US, I had bought one of those newfangled Blackberry touchscreen phones. Whilst it aimed to be cutting-edge in functionality, removing the need for that tiny little keyboard, it did have a peculiarity that meant, even when locked, the phone could very easily be switched to take a photo. The principal annoyance of this oddity was the sheer number of pocket shots that had to be periodically reviewed and deleted. One morning in the office, Mother Nature called and I made my way to the bathroom. All alone, I stood at the middle urinal of 3, a rare choice when presented with 3 empty urinals, I admit. Whilst tending to nature, I held my phone in my free hand with my email inbox illuminating my face in what was a very dimly lit bathroom.
Oh, gosh.
There was a swoosh of the bathroom door, followed by the clicking sound of approaching leather shoes, and someone approached the urinal to my left. I look up and give a muted and polite, "All right," seeing that the person was in fact one of the senior partners in the firm, who I've rarely interacted with in my short time there. To this day, the next part remains mostly a blur in my mind, albeit with moments of intermittent clarity that continue to punctuate my thoughts late at night. As my flow slowed, I drew my phone down from in front of me to return it to my left pocket. In doing so, the bathroom became momentarily awash with a bright white light and the distinct sound of a camera shutter echoing out. I looked to my left out of confusion and met eyes with the senior partner from the firm, whose face reflected my own bewilderment. This is the moment I remember so distinctly. The partner's face slowly formulated into fury as he looked down from my face at the bulge of the phone that I'd just returned to my pocket. "Did you just take a picture of my pee? Kid? You just took a picture of my pee? Oh my flipping heck, why the hell have you just taken a picture of my D, you creepy S?"
It's good.
The repeated accusations got louder and angrier as the strength in my legs lessened and weakened to the point where I was sure I would collapse into a heap. My phone does that. Sorry, I didn't take a picture of your pee. Sorry, I'll check. Let me just check my phone, I hurriedly muttered. As the partner turned to the door, his body clearly primed with rage as the steps on the tiles echoed much louder this time, I found the photo in question. Look, see, I didn't take a picture of your W. It's just a blur. Have a look, it's just a blur. The enraged partner was already out of sight as the door swooshed closed, leaving me alone with my weak and quivering knees and the phone screen held out and presented towards the door. Later that morning, another senior partner called me into their office to discuss the incident in further detail.
Oh, my gosh.
What originally started as a concerned line of questioning turned into pure hilarity at the expense of me. From here, this incident became my cross to bear as I endured ridicule from the rest of the team and never lessening embarrassment whenever I had to interact with said senior partner. Many years later, having returned to the familiarity of England, I rejoined the same accountancy firm, and just the other day, a colleague of mine, having heard that I spent some time in the US, asked if I ever heard about that junior who'd taken a picture of the partner's tea. I falsely remarked that I'd never heard of that story, and perhaps it was from a different US office.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
That is podium place. Best shame well of all time.
That's good.
That is unreal.
Yeah, you shouldn't really. I think it's a bit bad to have a camera out of your urinal anyway.
Yeah, but
it's not his fault. People do it. People check. People scroll these days.
He's busy, if anything. It was a display of his work ethic.
Well, the worst thing is that the failed photo isn't necessarily proof that you didn't intend to take the photo, but superb shame well.